All right, Shalom Israel.
Shalom.
Good to see everybody. We're happy to be here, and we're happy that you're here also. For those checking in and checking us out, the water for watching, and we enjoy what we do. And like always, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I'll be your host, Sham Shawan.
Mar
Waller's with me right now, and what we're gonna do is try to dice up and explain some elements of seeking help. You know, when and how do I get help? You know, there's a lot of things involved as far as when you're looking for assistance. You know, when you're looking for help,
answers, clarity.
You have things on your mind.
You got big problems.
You got problems. You got issues. You got situations, circumstances, and just also not including the darts of Satan. You know, the wiles of the devil that he throws at you. You know, sometimes unbeknownst to you, and to sidetrack you, to get you thrown off your course, to get you out of your rhythm. You know, you got him throwing darts at you as well, so you got to evade, you know, just the toxicity of life, your own personal problems, your own thoughts, concerns, setbacks, handicaps, whatever it may be that we deal with. But there's a time and there's a way and a method of coming to get assistance when those situations arise or circumstances appear. And that's what we want to kind of deal with today, is about how do I go, what is my approach like? What should my mentality be like when I'm seeking help from counselors, from elders, brothers, the Most High also, you know, ultimately. So to start off, we chose Tobit to kind of go into this understanding. Let's go to Tobit, and let's go to chapter 4, verse 18 and 19. Okay. And if you want to break that down, my Waller.
Got it.
Let's read that.
You said Tobit chapter 4?
Mm-hmm.
Tobit chapter 4, verse 18. Whenever you're ready.
Got it. Read.
Mm-hmm.
Ask counsel of all that are wise.
Right. So we're supposed to ask counsel, to seek counsel from those that are wise, meaning those that have experience.
Right, and those that may know something that I don't know, because that's I'm trying to get, you know, some information that I may have not known before or have not been correct on. So I'm trying to get the right way to do something.
Right.
Go ahead.
And despise not any counsel.
And despise what?
Not any counsel that is profitable.
So we're not supposed to downplay or minimize the counsel or the advice that we get, because counsel is advice. So we're not supposed to despise, meaning in the sense of I'm belittling what this person has to say based off of my situation that I was asking the counselor.
Right, or the counselor can't help me. There's nothing that he can offer me. You know, that he can't help me. He's not qualified. He says, read that again.
It says,
and despise
not any counsel that is profitable.
Right. So when you get counsel or advice that's beneficial to you, don't downplay it like that can't help me. You don't know it, because the question is, when can it help you? Right. A lot of times you get counsel in advance prior to the circumstances that you run into. It doesn't always have to be threat level red and there's an extreme necessity and I'm on the verge of losing everything in order to get counsel. A lot of times counsel has always been available, but am I paying attention to it? Because the same thing that if I'm listening in on counsel, I'm asking, or I even hear another brother ask a question, I may put that in my memory bank, because I may say, you know what, I might need that later.
Right.
I might not be going through what he's going through right now, because this man may be going through a divorce. But you know what? That may not be. I might not be in that same situation, but there may be a time when I need to go through it. Or I'm going through a divorce, and I'm gonna need the counsel that I'm hearing that man give another brother. You know, so when I hear counsels coming out, I'm supposed to be collecting those counsels and adding those counsels to my mind, not despising those counsels like, well, that's just him going through that situation. Yeah. That ain't me. My situation's straight.
And it can be something so basic.
Right. It can be something. It can be something so basic. But a lot of times we, like you said, downplay or minimize counsels because simply I'm not going through that situation at that point in time. So that doesn't pertain to me. That pertains to him. And that's you going through that battle. That's not my battle.
Or they like to direct their own counsel in the midst of you giving them counsel. Oh,
right.
Well, I think this is how this is supposed to go.
Right.
Or or have an expectation, of their own way of doing things, versus following the counsel.
Right. Awesome. Go ahead.
Read.
Verse 19. It says, "Bless the Most High thy power always, and desire of him that thy ways may be directed."
Right. So we're supposed to bless the Most High in the sense of him directing our ways, to be guided, to be instructed, to be educated by doing the proper methods and properly receiving counsels and executing those counsels. Read.
It says, "And that all thy paths and counsels may prosper."
Right, so you can benefit from it, so you can be successful from it, to follow. And I think that's it with that scripture.
No, it still goes.
Nope.
It still goes? Okay. Continue.
Read on.
It says, "For every nation hath not counsel."
So no other nation in the world besides our nation, which is the Israelites, have counsel by the Most High. Read.
"But the Most High himself giveth all good things."
Right. And because he said, the Most High himself giveth what?
All good things.
Right. Now, just to harp on the scripture you just pulled right now, Psalms 18 and 46. Read that.
Psalms chapter 18
Verse 46.
and verse 46. I got it. All right. It says, "The Lord liveth, and blessed be my rock."
He says, the Most High liveth, meaning I can always depend on the Most High. It says, when we just read that in verse 19, it says, "Bless the Lord thy power always."
Mm-hmm.
Why am I always blessing the Most High? Why am I always seeking to exalt the Most High's name? Why am I always magnifying the Most High?
Is that a question? Or?
Yeah, just a question.
Because he gives us, based on the class, he gives us the opportunity to get that counsel, right? Not everybody
Right.
has that, like it says. But also, I should bless the Most High because he woke me up. I didn't have to wake up today, man.
Mhm.
I didn't have to have those opportunities that I had. Whether it's something as huge as you getting something you wanted or having a really good day, or just something as some would see as little as I just woke up today. The Most High woke me up today. That's something that we can all be appreciative of and bless and praise the Most High for.
And add on to that, essentially the Most High gives to us good continually.
Mm-hmm. It says, and the Most High give us good continually, right?
Okay.
And he say he daily loadeth us with what?
With benefits.
With benefits. So we know that the Most High is always giving. He's always worthy of his praise and honor because he's always faithful and he's trustworthy.
And they also say that he gives to all. He gives wisdom to all men liberally.
Right.
He gives us solutions to our problems on a daily basis.
God, he
Which
does.
is counsel, because the counsel is the doing of the wisdom.
And that's part of that everyday assistance that he doesn't guarantee other nations.
Exactly.
The Most High doesn't give that divine communication, which is the oracles of the Most High, to everybody.
Ain't even.
You want that?
No, but that's something that we have an opportunity to get and obtain. And he says he's worthy of his praise. Read Psalms 18 and 46.
Psalm 18 and verse 46. "The Lord liveth, and blessed be my rock."
He said that's why he called him his what?
His rock.
His rock meaning his what?
Stability.
It's stability.
Foundation.
The Most High keeps me stable. The Most High keeps me firm. I depend on the Most High as the one that I go to. He's the go-to guy.
Okay.
He's the one when I'm in a pinch and I'm in trouble. I'm not looking for man necessarily first. I'm looking for who?
The Most High.
I'm looking for Most High, and then I'm asking the Most High to send counselors and to send help by way of counsel, so that I can get the answers that I need for my problems. Read on.
Okay. And it says, "And let the power of my salvation be exalted."
And let the Most High, who deserves praise, be what?
Be exalted.
Let him be magnified. Let the Most High receive his honor.
He depends on the Most High.
He depends on
protection.
He's dependent upon the Most High. That's how we should all be. So to finish that verse in verse 19, you had it in Tobit, right?
So Tobit chapter 19 in the mid, it says middle section. For every nation.
No, read it from the top of 19.
Tobit chapter 4 verse 19.
Down, my water.
Blessed be the Lord thy power always.
Right. Because we just read that the Most High, we have to bless the Most High due to him looking out for us, because he's the one that keeps us stable. Right, read.
And desire of him that thy ways may be directed.
Right. So that we to desire for him to direct our ways through counseling. Read.
It says that all thy paths and counsels may prosper.
Right. So that through the counselors that's giving us counsel, that we can benefit and be successful within those counsels that we receive or given through our situations in life, through the things that we go through, the ups and downs, through life course that we go through our life. Read.
For every nation hath not counsel.
Not every nation has advice. Not every nation has what we have, as far as in the communication with the Most High. Read.
But the Lord himself giveth all good things.
Right.
And he humbleth whom he will, as he will.
Right.
Now therefore, my son, remember my commandments, neither let them be put out of thy mind.
Right.
So who's in control at all times?
The Most High.
The Most High is in control at all times. So if I'm going to come out of my situation, who's going to allow me to come out of my situation?
The Most High.
The Most High. Or if I'm going to be stuck in a situation, who's going to keep me stuck in that situation?
The Most
The Most High. The Most High will at all times. And that's very important, because we're going to bring this up later on in the class about, whether or not you'll be released from your tribulation, your anxiety, or your affliction, or the Most High will keep you in it, held or bound or tied to your affliction for a very long time. It's the Most High's doing. He's in control of all of it. So it's the Most High that we got to pursue, and not just, I need a quick answer. Maybe I need to, change my lifestyle and, seek some financial advice. Because our people will go through hoops instead of going straight to the source. And that's what David said, man. David said, I go to the source, man. The Most High is my rock. He's my foundation. I'm not going through hoops and trying to go through, maybe it's money, maybe my promised money, maybe it's this. I need to go straight to the Most High. And I need to get his word. I need to get his advice.
Not an alternative route.
Right, come. But go ahead. That's in Tobit 4:19, right?
Okay.
Go ahead, my woman.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 32. We're going to go to Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 32 in verse 18.
Ecclesiastes 32 in verse 18. Ready?
Right, read.
A man of counsel will be considered.
A man of what?
A man of counsel will be considered.
So a man that's given counsel, which is advice from the counselor, he will what?
He will be considered.
So he will consider what's being said from the counselor, because he's considered a wise man when he listens and follow after that counsel.
Now,
consider.
I like what you said. Read that one more time.
Come. It says, a man of counsel will be considerate.
Right. So you're saying that a man that's giving the counsel will be considerate, and he'll consider your situation. He'll consider your needs. He'll consider your circumstance. So is that what you're saying, my wife?
Right.
So when you go to a counselor, he'll think about what it is that he needs to counsel you about.
Right.
But you also said a man that receives counsel also will be considerate as well.
Right.
So when is he inconsiderate? But he still needs counsel. So how does that work? Considerate. Get the definition of considerate.
Considerate.
I like that.
Given to consideration or to sober reflection. Thoughtful. Hence, serious. Circumspect. Careful. Discreet. Prudent.
Okay, now so what you're saying is it goes both ways. You're saying that the counselor will be considerate,
Right.
but also in order for this counsel to work both ways, from the one that's giving the counsel to the one receiving the counsel. So also the one receiving the counsel, we say he must be what? He must be considerate.
Considerate.
Right. Now what about Luke chapter 11 verse 5? Somebody give me Luke chapter 11 verse 5. Because a lot of times there's no perfect situation when you need counsel, and that's what I want to kind of touch on right here. When you need something, it's not always going to be the perfect opportunity is available when this counsel is necessary. And sometimes that could be frustrating, both on the counselor, like you said, Mawala, it goes both ways. The counselor will be considerate, but also the one that needs the counsel will be considerate, right?
Yeah.
But there's not that sounds easy, and it sounds like, yeah, for sure that happens. That's going to happen all the time, but it doesn't happen that way, because based upon your needs and the priority of your needs and the seriousness of your needs, you know, some situations are more extreme than others. Some situations are more pressing than others. Read that right quick in Luke chapter 11, verse 5.
Luke chapter 11, verse 5. And he said unto them, which of you shall have a friend, and shall go unto him at midnight?
So all your friends don't always respect the what? They respect they're not always going to respect the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sometimes you want counsel, and it's at what?
At midnight.
Is that considerate?
No. You got things you got to do for the next. You got to get up here for the next day.
You know, is that considerate to the counselor? I thought it said the counselor should be considerate.
They not at time.
Now you know what? Everybody needs is different. Everybody has different needs, and your needs aren't always going to be where it fits in a schedule. Everybody's situation's not going to fit in the schedule, depending on the how detrimental the circumstance is. If you got a friend, sometimes that phone or that door or whatever may knock at what?
At midnight.
At midnight. And basically, it's inconvenient. Now, you just read the definition of considerate. Considerate meant what?
Considerate means this right here, bro. Just to say. It means to give to consideration or to be sober for reflection, thoughtful.
Thoughtful. Okay, so do I care about what time it is? Obviously, this man has said, read that one more time. Let me make sure I've quoted correctly. 11 and 5. It says, which of you, go ahead.
St. Luke chapter 11, verse 5. And he said unto them, which of you shall have a friend, and shall go unto him at midnight?
Is that very thoughtful?
Wow.
No.
Is that very considerate? I'm just going to hit you up at midnight. You know, I'm gonna hit you up when I know it may not be a good time. Read on. No. The verse.
It says, and shall say unto him at midnight, friend, lend me 3 loaves.
Lend me what?
3 loaves.
Oh, 3 loaves, man.
At midnight?
At midnight. Like, you picked right now at midnight to get, because you want 3 loaves. Like right now.
That sounds like some Judite stuff. Right? Let me get 3 loaves at midnight.
At the stroke of midnight.
BBQing right now.
Yeah. I need 3 loaves. Like, bro, you need 3 loaves right now. It's not. That's why I said it's. But it's, even though we know a counselor should be considerate, there's not always a perfect situation, and this is what Christ is bringing out: is that your needs are not always on a schedule. Sometimes people's needs are different, so it has to be a way that you get what you need while still maintaining, you know, the thoughtfulness of the need.
So what you're saying is that different people that have different needs that come at different times.
Comes at different times. Timing is everything when it comes to getting counsel, man. Sometimes it is the right time, and sometimes you need help, and it's not a good time.
Come.
But the need is there. Read on.
Verse 6. For a friend of mine in his journey is come to me.
And also this, I understand if you need something from me, but you need something from me to give to somebody else that I don't even know. That's even worse.
I need a loaf of bread.
I need 3 loaves for my other friend. I don't know who this other guy is, but you need this for me to give to you to give it to somebody else.
That sounds sketchy too.
The more that you start analyzing the situation, you start looking at, man, I don't even know this guy. You hit my door up at midnight to borrow something for somebody that's not even a friend of mine, but he's a friend of yours. Read on.
It says, and I have nothing to set before him.
Go ahead.
For he, it says, and he from within shall answer and say.
And once somebody from within who's providing the assistance or providing the help, because after they heard that and they looked at the time, they looked at what the need is, they're going to say what? What is their natural response going to be?
Trouble me not.
He said, you doing what?
Trouble me not.
And so if I was considered as the person in need, then you know what? I could have made, some accommodations as far as facilitating this bread a lot sooner than midnight.
Right.
Why wait till midnight to, facilitate this bread? So in my mind, I'm gonna say, man, this man is bothering me. You troubling me. Read on.
It says, trouble me not, the door is now shut, and my children are with me in bed.
Everybody sleep. My children are in bed. I'm not gonna wake the whole house up to get you three loaves of bread for somebody else that I don't even know. Go ahead.
I cannot rise and give thee.
I can't do it, man. I can't do it. And a lot of times, people, when they want something, and they have a need, and they don't get it, a lot of times the situation was inconvenient to the person that they. Not saying that the need is not there, but they're not considerate of the time frame and the predicament that they're putting the person that's providing the needs, that they're putting them in, the predicament that they're putting them in. So, read on.
Verse 8. I say unto you, though he will not rise and give him, because he is his friend.
Go ahead.
Yet, because of his importunity, he will rise and give him as many as he needed.
Now, what is the definition of importunity?
Got it right here. Importunity. Pressing solicitation.
So, importunity is what?
Pressing solicitation.
So when you need something, and Christ is bringing this parable out because he shows you that sometimes the situation is not going to be always beneficial for both parties. But when you need something, you have to provide. There has to be some what?
Pressing solicitation.
It says pressing solicitation. What else?
Urging requests.
So urgent request or urging request. So I'm very urgent. This is important. I need this. Go ahead.
Application for a claim or favor.
I need a favor, man. I need a favor, and I need a favor right now. Go ahead.
Which is urged with troublesome frequency.
So I gotta agitate you, even though I'm not trying to, but because my situation is so dire, or it's extreme, it's important, or it's critical, I have to keep hitting you up. Read on.
Or pertinacity.
Okay.
Pertinacity. Men are sometimes overcome by the importunity of their wives or children.
Right. So pertinacity. What you got, Yawa?
Importunate. It says urgent or persistent in solicitation. It says sometimes annoyingly so.
Sometimes what?
Annoyingly so.
And that's just what it is as a counselor. If I'm going to be giving people counsel, sometimes the counsel is not always going to be on my schedule. Because it's got to be based upon the needs of the people. But sometimes the people that need are not going to be considerate of the time frame. But what Christ is showing is, in order for you as the person in need, if you need help, sometimes you have to push buttons, not disrespectfully. You don't have to be disrespectful. But depending upon how important it is, you have to seek counsel with what? With that definition you read.
Importunity, it says urgent or persistent, sometimes annoyingly so.
Yeah, because it's critical that I get this advice. It's critical that, because, sometimes brothers will say, well, you know what, you're busy. You're always busy. You don't have no time.
You don't pick up the phone.
You don't pick up the phone. You're probably going to say no. It's probably too late. Brothers will already feel like I'm not going to get what I need because you're going to tell me I'm bothering you, it's not a good time, so on and so forth. But when you need something, what Christ is saying is, based on your need, you have to be solicitous and urgent about your requests. You can't give up on when you need something, and you're just gonna automatically go to the prescribed thoughts. Oh, they're not gonna pick up the phone. They've been blowing me off lately. They leave me hanging like always. Or they're not. Then the counselor's not dependable. The counselor's not faithful. The counselor, they got time for everybody else but me.
So what you're saying is, you have to be considerate, but at the same time, you cannot stop the pursuit of asking what you have in need of.
Absolutely. Just because you may have these thoughts that, hey, this person is busy, this person may not have time, man, you still got to make attempts. And this is what Christ is saying. You shouldn't stop your attempts because you need something based upon your thought process that this person is too busy, or this person doesn't have time for me, or they're not going to pick up the phone. They see me calling. They knew I called. They knew it was me.
Right.
And they still didn't answer the phone.
Right.
Because I saw them pick up the phone for somebody else.
Right.
Ask, seek, and knock.
But that's where we're going. But that's where we're going. That's what it's saying. But it's saying that when you need something, you can't listen to those thoughts of they're not gonna respond. They're not gonna hear me out. They have no time for me. Those are all negative thoughts that won't allow you to get what you need solved.
Would you label that as doubt or
It is.
complaints?
It is doubt. It is doubt, especially when if I make an attempt to knock and nobody answered after the first knock, and I just say, just like I thought, this person was busy. Just like I thought, this person has no time for me. Just like I thought, I wasn't going to get the help that I needed. So, because a lot of times what people are doing is they're partially battling with them executing their own plans anyway. Now to be appropriate and to be proper, or as to say, at least I tried to submit my thought process, or at least I tried to go about doing things the right way, because the scripture does say, do all things how?
Decently and in order.
Decently and in order. So I tried to be in order. So I made the attempt. You didn't answer the phone. So I went ahead and did what I felt I had to do anyway, because I couldn't depend on you. I couldn't lean on you. But when you need something, what Christ is saying is, yes, the timing is, there's not going to be a perfect timing situation. There's not going to be this where you know what, you have nothing going on right now, and I have nothing going on right now, and nothing's going to go on, so we got all the time to talk it out. Even in a relationship, a lot of times a husband and wife, they're coming and going, and when one is coming in, the other one's leaving, and vice versa. And when that one's coming in, that one's leaving, and the time is like you got a little bit of window to get out, discuss, talk about, work out, plan, and create a strategy, solve problems, lay out responsibilities and duties, and the needs of the family and the household. You only got a little bit of a window to establish that communication, to figure out what each party needs to do, and that person is gone. And then sometimes even in a relationship, the one of the members may feel neglected, or I may feel like you never got time for me. You're always too busy. You're always with so and so. You got time for everybody else but me. But when so and so calls, you answer the phone. When so and so needs you, you're there. You can find the time when it comes to somebody else, but you can't, or you find the energy. But when it comes to me, you put me on the back burner. When it comes to me, I'm always last. I'm always neglected. It's not that, you know what, I don't care, or one of the parties don't care. What it is that there's hardly ever a perfect scenario where you can work out everything that you need to work out with one another to solve a problem. And that's and because Christ knows this is why he created this parable. He created this parable to explain to people that when one needs and one has the needs of, or the benefits that the other person needs to receive, the exchange is never going to be perfect. But you still got it, because the exchange isn't perfect. That doesn't mean you have the excuse to say, I tried and I quit. Or I tried, you're not dependable, so I had to move on. Because you know what? I can't wait for you. I can't wait for you. You can't be dependent upon. You're untrustworthy, and you're too busy to solve my problems. And that frustration that comes along with that causes people to develop a negative outlook. It causes people to start thinking about, you know what? Why even ask to begin with? Why even ask? Why did I even think that I could go to you? Why did I even think that I could trust you? Why did I even think I can talk to you? Why did I even think that I could get some information from you, or get some advice, or get some help? Why did I even think that? I'm tricking myself. I'm lying to myself by thinking I can depend on you for this. But hold this. Go to Ecclesiastes chapter 16, verse 13 real quick. And I just want to focus on the B portion of this. Ecclesiastes chapter 16, verse 13. Let's read that. Whoever got it.
Ecclesiastes 16 and verse 13. It says, the sinner shall not escape with his spoils, and the patient...
It says, this is the part I want to focus on. It says the what?
And the patient...
The patient, go ahead.
Of the godly...
The patient of the what?
Of the godly.
So yeah, even though I'm required to wait, and the situation is not perfect, at that time that I didn't get an answer, then what virtue should I execute?
Patience.
I should be looking to execute the virtue of patience. If I'm not getting the answers that I want, but I need help, then what virtue does the Most High allow us to have if we exercise it, so that in between time, while I'm not getting the answers that I want, what spirit should I have?
Patience.
I should have the spirit of patience. He said, the patient of the godly, what?
The patient of the godly shall not be frustrated.
Now how? So if I'm frustrated, then I'm what?
I'm not patient.
And I'm not.
I'm impatient.
I'm impatient. I'm not patient. If I'm frustrated that I'm not getting what I want, and I'm not getting the bread, which is the favor that I need to ask, and the advice or the counsel that I'm asking for. Yes, sir.
Can I add on to that verse?
What you got?
James 1 and 4.
You can
Just talking about the one.
Yeah. Yeah. So so what he's explaining is that because there's no perfect situation when it comes to you getting what you want when you want it from the counselor. That doesn't mean you stop, and that doesn't mean you get frustrated, and that doesn't mean you quit, and that doesn't mean you get angry. It just means that you need to supplement patience in the midst or in exchange of what it is that you're waiting for. Instead of being frustrated, let me use patience. Instead of being angry, let me use patience. Let me wait. Let me put myself in a posture that I got to keep asking until I see results. But I'm not supposed to give up on those results. Finish that in Luke. Let's go finish that in
Luke 11.
Luke 11.
Yeah. Luke chapter 11. We're now in verse 8. It says,
Yep.
I say unto you, though he will not rise and give him, because he is his friend, yet because of his importunity, he will rise and give him as many as he needeth.
And he's saying that you have to be persistent without being frustrated. You got to be solicitous and urgent without being angry. And that takes a balanced mind in order to do that. Because when you got pressing needs and you need answers right now, the last thing you want to do is wait and not get the answers because somebody doesn't have the time, or somebody is too busy, or they're not there available when I need it. And that having to wait on people to give me what I'm asking for, what I need. If I've never developed patience as a man or a woman, then I'm always going to be frustrated, bitter, sour, angry, upset, emotional, because of the fact that I need this right now and you can't provide it, so therefore I can't go to you. versus saying, I can go to you. I just have to be solicitous. I just have to be urgent. I just have to be pressing. So Christ is putting this, but even though the timing isn't right, that doesn't take away the fact that I don't need what you have to give me. You just gotta do what? Go ahead, read on.
Verse 9. It says, and I say unto you, ask, and it shall be given you.
Read.
Seek, and ye shall find.
Seek means to look with some urgency. Go ahead.
Knock, and it shall be opened unto you.
He's showing you that you have to ask, seek, and knock to get solutions. And a lot of people don't understand that when it comes to counsel and it comes to advice, you have to put your mind frame in this posture. You have to put your mind frame in this solicitous mind frame, not being disrespectful. Not being disrespectful, but just being urgent. There's a balance. I'm not disrespectful, but I'm pushing. Because this is important.
Now, what if some people come off and say, well, I feel like I'm bugging this person. Or I feel, because like you got most people that have the excuse of, I used to use it before, that I'm bugging people as an excuse to not bug people.
Right.
What do you have to say for that?
What that is just a person that's giving up on asking. They're not solicitous.
So
that
you're
means
giving up.
That's a person giving up, and a person that's wanting to be bitter. See, if I assume that, you know what, I tried one time, can I honestly say I was solicitous and urgent in my request? Because you know what we think? A lot of times we think because I asked once or twice and I didn't see anything change. I asked once or twice and I didn't see nothing move. I asked once or twice and I thought brothers was understanding how important this is to me. And I told men this was important to me. And I thought I made myself clear. But a lot of times my communication is waning or is lacking. My communication is incomplete.
I'm behind.
Or a lot of times,
Disorganized.
you know what happens is, most of the time, because not every situation, because you can't foresee every situation. But a lot of times, a brother had already received some advice, and because they didn't quite implement the advice, there was a decline in their situation. And then once there was a decline in the situation, and then the situation gets out of control, then it gets out of hand. Now my eyes are open. Now I'm looking for answers. I'm in a position of real desperate need right now. I'm desperate. But that desperation could have been avoided. But even though, because like I said, not every situation can be prescribed that way. But now I'm in a desperate situation. And I came to you in a desperate situation. And I told you what it was that I needed. And you didn't come through. So that's one strike against that counselor.
So what you're saying is people wait to the last minute.
A lot of times they wait till the last minute.
Things is like
overboard. That's why we read that this man came to his friend at midnight, because it's not always the right timing, man.
So it was overboard.
It was just an inconvenient time.
Okay, out of inconvenience.
Right. So, but I hold strikes against counselors.
Okay.
That's one strike. Okay, another situation pop up. I told you about I had this and this deadline to meet so and so, and nobody listened. Nobody, got back with me. So I failed to meet this deadline. That's strike 2. Then the Most High forbid another situation happens where, you know what, I needed this counsel. The counsel wasn't there. I couldn't depend on the counselor. So that's strike 3. You know why? Because it happens all the time in a relationship. I got to now become willful. I got to now start executing and making my own decisions, being independent in my decision making, because you're unreliable. I've tried to put my trust or to come to you with my situations, and you don't take them serious enough. they're not important to you as they are to me. So therefore, I have to execute my own will and make my own decisions. And it happens all the time. It happens all the time, whether it's a relationship, whether it's in a body, it's a church. It happens all the time. Yes, sir.
I had a question. Would that mind frame, would that be considered pride?
It would be considered pride, because you know what? Did I exercise patience? Did I exercise temperance?
No.
Was I persistent while still not being frustrated? Was I solicitous while still being respectful? And we're going to get into it. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and let's go to 2 Kings chapter 1. Somebody read start at verse 7. And because it's important when you need help, and to understand that there's not always going to be a perfect situation when you're going to get it. But what we'll learn though is how you approach the situation. All right. So let's read that. 2 Kings chapter 1, start at verse 7.
2 Kings chapter 1 and verse 7.
And the reason why I want to go here, because like you said, Yahweh, you asked the question, would that be pride? So we'll find out. Let's find out. 2 Kings chapter 1 and verse 7.
And he said unto them, what manner of man was he which came up to you to meet you, and told you these words? And they answered him, he was an hairy man, and girt with a girdle of leather about his loins.
Go ahead.
And he said, it is Elijah the Tishbite.
He said, man, I know exactly who that hairy man is with that girdle around his loins. That's Elijah the what?
The Tishbite.
Go ahead.
Then the king sent unto him a captain of 50 with his 50.
So he said, listen, man, the king sent a captain of 50. That was the man's rank. And he had 50 men with him because he was a captain of 50. Go ahead.
And he went up to him, and behold, he sat on the top of an hill. And he spake unto him.
And he spake unto him. Go ahead.
Thou man of the Most High.
Thou man of the Most High. Go ahead.
The king had said, come down.
The king said, come down here. Go ahead.
And Elijah answered and said to the captain of 50, if I be a man of the Most High, then let fire come down from heaven.
Read.
And consume thee and thy 50. And there came down fire from heaven and consumed him and his 50.
Man, damn, smoked. He got smoked, and then 50 men got smoked. Read on.
Again also he sent unto him another captain of 50 with his 50.
Go ahead.
And he answered and said unto him, O man of the Most High.
Man, he said the exact same thing the other guy just said. Go ahead.
Thus hath the king said, come down quickly.
Now he added something. The other guy said come down. This guy said come down what?
Quickly.
So what did he add on to it?
The order. There's an order.
Come down right now.
Come down right now. I need you to come down right now. So now he's trying to be forceful with it. I need you to come down right. You need to do this right now.
He's soliciting.
Yeah, he's soliciting. It's all right. Read on.
Come. Verse 12. And Elijah answered and said unto them, if I be man of the Most High, let fire come down from heaven and consume thee and thy 50. And the fire of the Most High came down from heaven and consumed him and his 50. And he sent again a captain of the third 50 with his 50.
And he said he sent again a what?
A captain of the third 50 with his 50.
He got a death toll already, man. That's 100. That's 102. 102, man. That's two captains of 50s and
two hosts of 50s with their captains.
With their captains, man.
50 times 2 is 100 plus 2 is 102. Right.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And the third captain of 50 went up and came and fell on his knees.
Oh, hold on. Now, yeah, you might have a request. You might have a solicitous, urgent request. You may have a need, but how you approach that need is very critical. How you approach that need, and that's why you asked the question, would you say that that's pride? Because a lot of people approach a need, or they approach a counselor, but they approach a counselor with force. I need you to do this right now. They're not sensitive. They're not considerate. Because you brought out my water that the consideration got to be on both sides.
Right.
It's got to be on the side of the counselor, and it's got to be on the side of the one receiving the counsel. right? The counselee, right? So what we're learning here is already we're finding out that when you approach, when you have a need, how you approach that need makes a difference. So he said, this man came how?
Came and fell on his knees before Elijah, and besought him, and said unto him, O man of the Most High, I pray thee, let my life and the life of these 50 thy servants be precious in thy sight.
What would you call this right here?
Humility.
That's exactly what it is. This is somebody that's coming with some what?
Humility.
Some humility. It's somebody that's coming with some humility. And that changes everything when you have a need. How you approach getting advice, getting counsel, whether you come with some force, some solicitation, or some frustration, makes a difference. Versus coming with the what? Now, all these captains of 50 was coming from who? Whose message were they delivering?
The kings.
The king's message. So all they were doing was just doing their job. I'm just doing my job. I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do.
Wow.
But even when you're doing your job, you still got to do your job with what?
Humility.
With humility.
Wow.
Humility and contrition.
So he's showing, to hold that and go to Job chapter 36, verse 7. Job chapter what?
36.
Chapter 36, verse 7.
Job chapter 36, verse 7. He withdraweth not his eyes from the righteous.
See, so the Most High said he's always checking out the what?
The righteous.
The righteous.
The righteous. The Most High is always paying attention how the righteous do things. Because there's always a right way to do something. Righteous just means the right way according to the Most High on getting things done. How does the Most High do things? Doing things right according to the Most High. That's all righteous means. Not what's righteous in my eyes, but what's righteous in the Most High's eyes. He said the Most High's eyes are always on the who?
The righteous.
Read on.
But with kings are they on the throne.
It says, but with kings are they on the throne? Go ahead.
Yea.
So he says, is a king on the throne?
Yea.
Kind. A king is on the throne. But the Most High is watching him too. It doesn't matter what rank you are, the Most High is watching you. He said, if I'm a king or if I'm an officer of 50, like we reading in 2 Kings, and I got 50 men under me, if I got some rank, I still got to be what? Still got to be righteous. I still got to be righteous even with authority. Even whether I possess authority, whether I have authority from the Most High, I still got to do things the right way. Read on.
It says, he doth establish them forever.
Go ahead.
And they are exalted.
And if I do things right, the Most High said he will establish them forever, and they are what?
Exalted.
Read on.
Verse 8. And if they be bound and fettered.
So if I'm a man of authority, if I'm a man of captain of 50, or I'm a king, and I be bound in fetters, what are fetters?
It's like chains, right?
Shackles, chains.
Right? Yeah.
So if I be bound in fetters and chains, go ahead.
And be holden in cords of affliction.
And be holding in cords of what?
Affliction.
Go ahead.
That he sheweth them their work.
Then if I'm a man of authority, but now I'm in a position of cords and affliction, and I'm bound. When you're bound, do you have control? No.
You in restraint.
You're restrained. That means what? You don't have any freedom.
You're restricted.
You're restricted. You don't have freedoms. Right. Your liberty is taken. And if my liberty is taken, or if I'm in chains or bonds, then I have no choice but to what? Wait. Because that's what you just can't get up and go where you want to go. You have to wait.
Can't do nothing.
You can't do anything. You have to wait. And they said that if I'm a man that's in fetters, or I've been put in a situation where I have to wait. Read on.
It says, and their transgressions that they have exceeded.
He said, let's read this verse right here one more time.
Verse 9.
Verse 9.
Then he sheweth them their work.
He says, then if I got put in a position where I gotta wait, he says the Most High will explain to me why. He said the Most High will show me why I'm in that position where my control has been stripped from me. The Most High will show me why I'm in a position where I got fetters on me. The Most High will show me where I got put on hold, or I got put into prison, or in this bound captivity, or form of captivity, where I just have to be in this position for an unknown amount of time. He says the Most High will make it known to them. He will show them. Go ahead.
And their transgression.
He said he will show them their what?
And their transgression.
He said then he showed them their work. He showed them their work and their what?
And their transgressions.
That what?
That they have exceeded.
And so why did I get put in a position where I had to be put on hold?
Because you were impatient.
Because no.
You exceeded your expectations. Your work.
Somebody else. Yes, you're right, but somebody break that down a little bit better.
So it says, then he showed, so it says they're bound in fetters, and behold the cords of affliction. Then he showed them their work, meaning he's showing me my actions, what I've done.
What I've done right?
No, what I've done wrong.
He said he showed me what I did wrong.
Right,
but
but it says, and their transgressions that they have exceeded. So the Most High is showing me, this is where you're at, and these are the negative things, or the offensive things, the transgressions things that you did that got you in this position. For example, if a man was in one position, then he goes down below, he takes a step down or a couple steps down, the Most High will show him, or in this case the counselors will show him, this is what happened, so why you're here. This is the cause and effect, if you will. The Most High shows us the cause and effect of our actions in the good, but here also in the negative. So when we're wrong, the Most High shows us why we've been maybe demoted or we've been in a negative situation. He shows us that.
Exactly, because if I'm on the throne, whether I'm doing things right, the Most High will establish me. If I have rank, the Most High will establish me. But if I'm doing things wrong, the Most High is not one to not tell me why He has me in this position of affliction where I have no control.
Right.
And the Most High has put me in a position where I have a need. And I have a need, and my need has to be satisfied through what? Counselors. And the counselors are the ones that are going to show me what it is that I have done wrong and how I have exceeded what's right and led me into this position that I'm in right now where I have to wait. And I have no control. And I'm full of restrictions. And what the Most High is doing, what the Most High is showing is there's a reason why He's doing it. And there's a reason why the Most High puts men in position where they have to lean on, not saying that we never need counsel, we always need counsel. We should be looking for counsel. But especially when I'm in a position where I have no control. If I want to know why is my situation so hard? Why is my situation so difficult? Because what the Most High is doing, He's doing something for a reason. He's making my condition uncomfortable for a reason. Read verse 13.
Come, verse 13. But the hypocrites in heart.
The hypocrites is a person, not just a play actor, but this word in particular in the Old Testament, when you read hypocrite, this word means impious or irreverent. They lack respect. This is a person that lacks respect. He says, but the hypocrite, go ahead.
But the hypocrite in heart heap up wrath.
He does what?
Heap up wrath.
It says, but the hypocrite in heart heaps up what?
Wrath.
Wrath. Now, what is the spirit that's on a hypocrite or an impious person who's put in a position where they have no control, but they need help? They have no freedom, but they need help. They have no say-so, but they need help. See, everybody gets put in a position, but what the Most High is looking at is, what is your state of mind while you're in that position? Now, you asked the question earlier about, is it pride? Now, all we have to do is go back to where Mount Waller had mentioned. The second scripture he pulled was Ecclesiastes 32, I think. Okay. Then read verse 18. Because we need to figure out what it is that the Most High is trying to teach me while I'm in these fetters. What is He trying to teach me while I'm in this position where I'm dependent? Read that.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 32 verse 18.
Read that one more time.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 32 verse 18. A man of counsel will be considerate.
Yeah, because you said earlier that a man of counsel will be what?
Considerate.
Go ahead.
But a strange and proud man.
Oh, it said, hold on. But he says a what?
A strange and proud man.
I do things like according to how I feel.
Right.
I do what I want to do. Well, the Most High has something set up for people that do what they want to do. And instead of being humble, he said they heap up wrath, meaning they get in their pride. And they do what? Read on.
It says, a strange and proud man is not daunted with fear.
He said he has no what?
No
Fear.
And this is why the Most High will continually make his situation a prison. This is why the Most High will continually put restraints and fetters on this person. It's not like the Most High won't let it be known why you're in the situation that you're in. He said because you do things strange. You do things with pride. Because you don't have what?
It says, is not daunted with fear.
Read.
Even when of himself he hath done without counsel.
Even when he does things without what?
Without counsel.
So there's a lot of people that don't have the fear of the Lord, and they do things without counsel. These are the ones that the Most High got to put in a position of restraint. These are the ones that the Most High got to put in a position of no control. These are the ones that the Most High got to put fetters on them. Because you don't follow. Because you don't do things the right way. You do what you want to do. So if I say, well, I can't trust the counselors, so I have to do what I want to do. Was it the fact that I didn't trust the counselors, or is it the fact that I wanted to do what I want to do anyway?
He really wanted to do it.
I really want to do what I want to do anyway.
So what you saying that the way that the Most High shows those that don't consider the counsel,
They don't.
gives them
They're not
to their
really.
own-
They're not really looking for counsel, even though they say they are.
even though they say they are.
Yeah.
He puts them in a condition where it forces you to see your own condition.
It forces you to think about your condition,
Okay.
and it forces you to think about your condition. Why? And the Most High will show you. He'll show you why you're in those fetters. Why am I in the position that I'm in anyway? Because the answer is the fact that I really don't have any humility. Because I really don't follow counsel. I'm not considerate of counsel. And I'm daunted with what?
It says, is not daunted.
It's not daunted with fear. Go ahead.
It says, even when of himself he hath done without counsel.
And even when I have taken the matters in my own hands and I stop listening to counsel. And read on.
Verse 19, do nothing without advice.
And that's why it says do nothing with what?
Without advice.
Go ahead.
And when thou hast once done, repent not.
Because what the Most High wants is for me not to take matters in my own hands. If the Most High has counselors around me, what's hard not to do is to take matters in my own hands. That's hard not to do that, especially if I felt like I tried and the counselors didn't answer the phone. They wasn't there when I needed them. My situation was pressing. It was very critical. I'm in a desperate position. I need answers right now. What Christ is saying is because there is no perfect time, you have to just be solicitous. You gotta knock, you gotta ask, and you gotta seek, and you shall find. Yes, sir.
On your point, what you talking about?
What you got?
Same book, Ecclesiastes chapter 37, verse 16. We're talking about counseling and doing other.
Still solicitous, but with a different approach. And sometimes that approach is what changes whether I get what I want or not. It makes all the difference in the world. Because you can have a need and still be respectful. You can have a need and be solicitous without being frustrated. You can still have a need and be desperate without being prideful. And unfortunately, people don't know that. People don't know the temperament of pursuing getting things done and what mentality I'm supposed to be in while I pursue get these things that I need done. Everybody's got needs.
Because we're in a moment right then and there, and it's like, ooh, it's a life or death. So, question.
Mm-hmm.
So, what you're saying is, if I have a need going on, right, and it's life or death, right, no matter how big or how small, and I'm going to get, I'm asking the counselor or counselors for help and advice, and even if I may think or have the whatever feeling of, oh, they're blowing me off or what's not important right now, keep the pure mind frame, like Titus 1:15, until the pure all things are pure. I'm supposed to keep that pure mind frame and just patiently wait.
just wait, and then know and have faith that the Most High is gonna give me my answer eventually. Is what you're saying. I can't just be so upset because I didn't get the answer right then and there. I'm kind of like being a baby in a sense.
Yeah, I am being a baby.
Yeah.
I am being a baby because I wanted really to do what I want to do, because I tried to be in order and I tried to do it the right way. And because I didn't go about it the right way, you know what? By being patient, being solicitous, I'm going to execute my own judgment. Then that's when pride comes in.
Well, then then looking at it that way, then okay, then it's fair. Then it's fair if I get what happens to me. Then, if that's the case.
Well, it's not necessarily fair. What it is, let's finish this part, and it's real critical that we finish this part in